enough to warrant concern, because one of the things that I think that will be happening here over the next little while is that this storm is going to regenerate, recycle, and re-intensify. And when that happens, we could very quickly and easily see a tornado hit the ground. So we are going to continue to monitor this and continue to watch this as we make our way here over the next, well, 15 minutes until this warning expires. But again, for those of you in St. Peter, I don't see radar-wise really any signs of major rotation. What I'm looking at here in the areas that I think are most concerning to me are these areas here right around Nicollet. And for those of you who aren't meteorologists, what we're looking at here is the colors. And when we get reds and greens really close together, that is a good sign that there's rotation. And that is actually why we have this tornado warning going on here. But it's right through here. That's where we have some rotation. Now, the other issue and the other thing that these storms are doing is they do have the potential to drop some pretty good hail. And right now, the core of the hail is right here east of Nicollet. And light blue, that's not that bad, really. Maybe dime, a little smaller, perhaps pea-size hail with those. Once we get into the purples, that's when things start to concern me a little more. But we're going to keep a close eye on this storm here. But as far as I am aware at this point, and all the information I'm getting here from my storm spotters, emergency management folks that are out in the field, no tornado or anything like that on the ground, although we are getting plenty of reports of funnel clouds with that particular storm. Again, not a tornado on the ground. I want to talk about a couple of other spots here real quick. We have tornado warning to the north, along and north of U.S. Highway 212. That storm, I think, a little more intense right now. This one is right up here, north of Norwood Young America and north of Belle Plaine, really on the far northern edge of our KEYC News Now coverage area, moving into the western, southwestern part of the Twin Cities. But that tornado warning until 7:15, and they have some pretty good size hail along with that particular storm as well, near Norwood Young America, moving further east. So if you know any folks up in that general vicinity, that storm is all right. I do now have a tornado on the ground 2 miles north of Nicollet along Highway 111. All right, for those of you here, tornado on the ground 2 miles north of Nicollet along Highway 111. Let me switch to our shear tracker and see. Let's see, that is from Blue Earth County. Let's see here, still on ground, and there is debris flying. So north of Nicollet, so that report right here would put this right about this area. We've got the rotation over here, but it's very possible that this thing is extending back a little further. So again, Nicollet, if you are in Nicollet right now, get to the basement immediately, get to a safe place. If you are north of Nicollet, we now have a confirmed tornado on the ground about 2 miles north of Nicollet right now. So that would be, there's Nicollet 1, 2, right in here. This is the area of concern. A tornado now on the ground. There is a report of debris flying with this particular storm as well. So that would be, I think, Daniel, probably this stuff right through here. So if you are in Nicollet, we have a tornado on the ground happening there. Daniel, I'm going to let you take over for just a sec.
Yeah, we continue to get a bunch of funnel reports in. Obviously, we got that tornado on the ground. Want to get to that safe place anywhere near Nicollet. This has been a very strong storm. Now is the time to get to that safe place. You can see on the Doppler velocity on that max 1 where that red and green is. That is most likely where the rotation is at this time. This storm continues to move very slow. So outside of the tornado, we also got to worry about torrential downpours, lightning, even hail with this. But right now, the main concern, get to your safe space if you are anywhere near their storm, to the east, southeast, north, into LeSueur County, to southwestern Nicollet, northern Blue Earth County. This is a time to get to your safe space. We, again, do have that confirmed tornado on the ground, the debris flying. No more reports at this time, but a lot of images I'm getting in on Facebook of the funnel clouds. But now, of course, we do have that tornado currently on the ground, Sean.
All right, we are closely monitoring the severe weather situation here. Tornado warnings in effect for parts of Nicollet County and the KEYC News Now coverage area. Right now, area of greatest concern is the area near Nicollet, where we do have a tornado that has reached the ground. Getting reports of funnel, and that is visible from the Mankato area. I don't know, Mitch, if you are there, if you want to run into the studio and talk to Daniel. Is Daniel there? I have getting a number of messages from folks.
We do have a second funnel cloud being formed at Nicollet County by Highway 111 right now. There's a new report on that as well for a second funnel cloud. That just came in about 1 minute ago right now.
All right, and we do have some photos and videos of the funnel cloud that are actually visible from, I believe, the Mankato area. So again, if you are in North Mankato, if you are along US Highway 14, get to a safe place, get to the basement. We have a couple of reports of funnel clouds right now. The best rotation right here, which is between Nicollet and North Mankato. We do have another funnel reported just north of Nicollet along Minnesota Highway 111. But these are the two areas we are most concerned with, and everything continues to move to the southeast. And so this is going to pass right along Highway 14. Depending on how this rolls, sometimes these tend to move a little to the right, so this could be moving into the North Mankato area here before too long. So there is a very faint funnel. I'm getting information from Mitch Keegan here that he can see from near the North Links Golf Course that kind of keeps bobbing up and down. And so if you are near the North Links Golf Course, also get to a safe place and get to your shelter immediately, because there is very likely a tornado that is about to touch the ground here. So again, North Links Golf Course, reports of a funnel there, and also near Nicollet, we have reports of a funnel moving through that general vicinity as well. So again, tornado warning is in effect. Let's go back and just kind of recap stuff for folks who are just tuning in. In fact, that tornado warning has now been extended through almost all of Blue Earth County to that far northwestern part of Waseca County, Mankato, and especially the east side of Mankato near the mall, now included in a tornado warning. And this one is in effect here until, let me pop the timing up here, until 7:45. So again, this tornado warning in effect until 7:45. Folks, if you have any photos, send them to Daniel, and I'm going to have Daniel just work on getting some of the photos together and ready to show on air here in just a little bit. I'm going to continue to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on here with this tornadic thunderstorm. So this warning again now issued for parts of Mankato. It includes North Mankato, Eagle Lake, in effect until 7:45 this evening. And that is our current situation here as we continue to watch these thunderstorms move across south central Minnesota. The tornado warning that remains in effect. Getting word now that the tornado near Highway 11 has dissipated, so that one north of Nicollet, not a problem, but we are watching this area here. And this is the area that we've kind of been concerned with over the last little while. This, let me turn our shear tracker back on here, and you can see right here, north of North Links Golf Course, this is where we have the area of rotation with the potential tornado that has been kind of bobbing up and down here for just the last little while. So again, if you are in this particular area, get ready to take shelter, because it's a very skinny little funnel. But when those things get to the ground, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to really do a significant amount of damage. So again, we're going to continue to watch this here. North of North Links Golf Course, west of Belgrade, a bit west of 7 Mile Creek County Park. This is the primary area of rotation right now, and a fairly small, thin-looking tornado in this area, but that doesn't mean anything. I've seen very thin, weak-looking tornadoes that have done a considerable amount of damage, so this is nothing to mess with. Again, this is just to the north and west of the Mankato, North Mankato area. The tornado warning has been extended. It now includes North Mankato, Eagle Lake, and parts of Mankato, especially out toward the mall in the northern and eastern sides of the city. So, again, this is a fairly serious situation now that we've had some confirmation and we've seen some tornado structure here. So get yourself to a safe place as this continues to evolve and continues to develop. This is something we are going to continue to watch here over the next little while. Let's go back. I just want to recap the tornado warning. And again, tornado warning now in effect until 7:45. Le Sueur, you are included in this tornado warning as well. Mankato, North Mankato, and Eagle Lake. And on top of the tornadic potential, there's also the possibility that there will be some large hail getting tossed up. When you get big updrafts in these storms, it can take these little pieces of ice and just circulate them around and around. And every time they go around, they get more ice and they get bigger until they're heavy enough to fall out of the storm. But we have a lot of instability and some really good updrafts with this storm. So there's also the potential here for some pretty big hail. So hate to be the one to bring that news to you, but the possibility is definitely there. For those of you who are just joining us, we are tracking severe weather across southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. We have several warnings in effect and about 3 different clusters of storms. The first one is the one we've been talking about, and that is this severe thunderstorm warning that the tornado warning that includes the Mankato, North Mankato area. We've seen wall clouds, and we have had a tornado touch the ground. In fact, a couple of them in a couple of spots. And so north and west of Mankato, North Mankato, east of Nicollet, that is the area under the gun right now. Further north, we are watching strong to severe thunderstorms up here on the western edge of the Twin Cities, north of Green Isle, north of Belle Plaine. We do have some rotation, not necessarily confirmed tornadoes there. And then down in Iowa, we do have a couple of impressive-looking storms. There's one moving toward Rutland, Fort Dodge, another one over here toward Sway City that we're going to be keeping an eye on here. Those have been kind of bubbling up and down a little bit. No warnings with the one yet, but the possibility is there as these storms continue to strengthen and move into an environment that's a little more conducive for severe weather. Let's get back to this one. We have been watching severe thunderstorms and tornadoes move across the region here, and we have had a couple of tornadoes touch down with this tornado warning that remains in effect until about 7:45 this evening. It includes Eagle Lake, Mankato, and North Mankato, and really the northern and eastern part of Mankato included in this tornado warning that's in effect until 7:45. We are watching a bit of rotation that is happening now just to the east and southeast. Let me back up over here of Nicollet, around the Mankato, North Mankato area. You can see this little area of green right here, kind of popping up between the North Links Golf Course and 7 Mile Creek Park. And you can see this is the area we're talking about here. If you are in that vicinity, that is the dangerous place to be. We've watched wall clouds and even some funnel clouds and even a couple of tornadoes kind of pop up in that vicinity. I do not have any reports of tornadoes on the ground right now, but we are watching very closely. I have our Skywarn storm spotters keeping an eye on things, and they are on standby to let me know the second anything hits the ground or anything touches the ground. So we are going to continue to watch this closely. And for those of you who are in other places wishing you could be watching your show, I apologize. We are on the air because we have potential tornadoes on the ground north and west of Mankato. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on things here. Daniel, anything going on over there with you?
I do have a new image in from, yeah, next to Jared. A new image in from, if you're in Nicollet looking towards North Mankato, kind of similar to what we've been seeing with those funnel clouds, not on the ground right there. There have been reports of people saying that they have seen a tornado on the ground. All I've seen so far, though, in the photos, the videos, have been kind of these skinny funnel clouds. Again, as you mentioned, those can still do a lot of damage. So you definitely want to be in your safe place as this storm continues to progress to the east-southeast very slowly. But these kind of, Sean, continue to be the pictures, that videos that keep coming in of these skinny funnel clouds in the area at this moment.
Yeah, keep sending those in, but don't put yourself in danger to get there. And you can see that funnel there. It looks very dangerous. And what a lot of times will happen, and we've kind of watched this over the last little while, is that these storms will kind of fizzle. It looks like they fizzle out. Whatever's there for a tornado will kind of go away, but then they will re-intensify and recycle very quickly. And when that happens, we can see another tornado rapidly develop. I've watched that kind of thing happen many, many times. So if you are in this area here, this tornado warning, get yourself to a safe place. We have a tornado warning that remains in effect for parts of Blue Earth County, parts of Le Sueur County, and the very southeastern tip of Nicollet County. This is in effect until 7:45 this evening. And we've had tornado touchdown reports with this cell previously. In fact, we had a pretty good funnel cloud west by Klossner earlier. We had a pretty good funnel and actually a tornado touchdown just a couple miles north of Nicollet with some reports of debris in that general vicinity. So a lot of stuff is happening here, and that's something we are going to continue to watch as we make our way through the rest of this evening. But again, if you are in this tornado warning, get yourself to a safe place quickly. We have a very dangerous storm system that is moving through, and we continue to watch the potential for some locally heavy rain, some hail, and plenty of rotation, and the possibility that we could see these tornadoes or these rotating wall clouds touch the ground once again. I want to take a look at just a couple of things here I want to glance through. You can see right here, we're starting to see a little more intensity southwest of 7 Mile Creek County Park. One of the parks I love to go to, north of Belgrade and north of North Links Golf Course. You can see some, I guess, things intensifying just a little bit here with that little bit of red in the middle. And that's kind of what we've been watching for the last hour or so, this particular cell here and that rotation. And so again, we may be seeing this strengthening up just a little bit. So if you are in this general vicinity, be on standby, be on alert, and be ready to move fast, because there is definitely the possibility that we could see a tornado there. There's also a bit of a hail signature, especially as you get up and down 169 Kasota to St. Peter. It's all white, so probably pea size at best, but there is the possibility of a little hail mixed in there as well. No other warnings other than the one up southern edge of the Twin Cities. We have some thunderstorms kind of popping up south of Blue Earth, around Sway City. Keister getting a good little thunderstorm right now. Buffalo Center, Iowa as well. But none of these are severe, although the possibility is there. And we're going to continue to watch these as well. I'm not seeing much in the way of hail, a little bit southwest of Buffalo Center. Not a whole lot of rotation with these. But again, we're going to keep a close eye on them and watch them as we make our way through the evening. This tornado warning again remains in effect until 7:45 this evening. We still have a bit of shear or rotation basically from North Links all the way up to 7 Mile Creek County Park to US Highway 169. We're going to stay with this and keep an eye on things and watch things closely here as we make our way into the next while. But again, getting reports now that there's just a disorganized wall cloud and no tornado or anything like that touching the ground at this point. So that's a good thing. But we're going to stay here and kind of monitor and watch just in case, because what will happen in a situation like this is that we will see things start to deteriorate very quickly, and tornadoes can actually develop in a matter of a couple of minutes. And so I want to stay here and remain on the air, especially because the NOAA weather radios aren't working. For those of you who were with us a bit earlier, I talked about this, but if you use a NOAA weather radio, the National Weather Service office in the Twin Cities is doing some upgrades and things now, and the weather radios are actually offline from now through Wednesday. So your weather radio is not going to sound for tornado and severe thunderstorm watches, warnings, or really any watches and warnings tonight, tomorrow, through about 4, 5, 6 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. So it's important that you have another means of getting severe weather information, because your NOAA weather radio isn't going to work. This is they're doing some work on the system, and that has pulled them offline for just a while. I want to bring up a camera here, kind of show you what's going on. This is live from Bethany Lutheran College, and the rain is now beginning to move into the western edge of Mankato. Just starting to see some of that rain come down. The most significant part of the storm is north and a little west of the North Mankato area. But again, we do not have anything touching the ground. No reports of a tornado or anything like that now. However, as I mentioned, things can evolve very quickly. So we are going to be watching all of this very closely here as we make our way through the next while. So the tornado, we're getting some pretty good pictures here of that tornado that touched down east of Nicollet, but right now there just isn't much going on. We have a tornado warning that remains in effect until 7:45. It is 7:21 right now, so we have a little time to go, but at this point there isn't a whole lot of rotation with that particular storm, but that can change in a hurry. And in this particular environment is something that I am a bit concerned about. Here's what we're watching. This is a tornado warning that's in effect. It includes Mankato, North Mankato, Eagle Lake, and that very northern and northeastern part of Blue Earth County. Lake George Park is in the middle of this. We have Eagle Lake in the middle of this. Kasota, not quite, just south of Kasota. Right now, North Mankato, the warning has been allowed to expire, but the warning does remain in effect for Mankato and locations east of U.S. Highway 169. Our rotation tracker or shear tracker shows a bit of rotation right through here south of 7 Mile Creek County Park, just about ready to cross U.S. Highway 169 right now. But as of right now, I have folks who are watching this storm, and there are no reports right now of anything close to touching the ground or anything like that. Meteorologist Daniel Sawicki is in the Weather Center as well, kind of keeping an eye on things. And Daniel, I know you've received a few pictures and a couple of other things here this evening. What do you got? Yeah, getting a lot of pictures. Yeah, Jared, we do have this latest picture. This was by the hilltop in Mankato about 5 minutes ago. This picture came in, kind of again similar to what we've been seeing. But this little funnel cloud kind of seems to be going up and down a little bit, gaining strength, as you mentioned. Then it kind of tears apart a little bit, then it gains strength again. So again, definitely with this tornado warning, you want to be in your safe place, because it has shown a little bit of debris. In some of these videos, I'm getting a little bit of a spin up. Not too terrible, but definitely some debris being thrown out in some of these videos I'm getting. I'm going to try to get one of these videos on here in one moment here, Sean. And let me talk just a little bit about what's going on here. You can see that we still have a bit of rotation south of 7 Mile Creek County Park. That is this green shaded area right here. And this is the area of primary concern. St. Peter, we don't have much going on for you right now. You are dealing with perhaps a little bit of rain, but that's going to be about the extent of it. In fact, the majority of this is east of St. Peter. In the Mankato area, we are getting some heavy rain right now. In fact, we have a pretty good amount of rain that's coming down across the city. And the area of most concern is now north of Mankato and even north of North Mankato up by 7 Mile Creek County Park. Let's take a look at a couple of cameras here. This is 14 at Victory Drive. We have a view here, live shot from the MnDOT camera. Oh, look at that. There you go. This is Belgrade Avenue. And this really shows what's going on here quite well. And you can see this area right through here, the area of rotation. That is this thing right here. And this is a live view from the Minnesota Department of Transportation cameras. So we are looking into lower North Mankato, kind of in the downtown area, and to the north and west. And so this is kind of the area that we are primarily watching here for some development. But again, we've had some rotation, in fact, quite a bit of rotation, a couple of tornadoes that did actually touch the ground near Nicollet and north and west of North Mankato, but I do not have reports of anything touching the ground at this time. There are a lot of places getting some rain, places that it's kind of nice we have these windshield wipers on here too to kind of keep the lens clear and clean. But you can see right now this pretty ominous looking cloud that we have just to the north and west of North Mankato, but nothing coming out of it, no tornado at this point. But we are here to keep you on top of this and let you know what's going on and to monitor the situation. And this is one of those situations where things can evolve very quickly, and we could see a tornado pop out at just about any time. By the way, I do want to mention that tornado watch now has been extended. It includes Waseca, it includes the Owatonna, Faribault area, Mankato as well, Belle Plaine, under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this evening. And we do still have this tornado warning that remains in effect until 7:45 for parts of Blue Earth and Le Sueur counties. Let me get back to the radar here and show you what's going on. Oh, it looks like they allowed it to expire. So I believe we no longer have a tornado warning in effect. But again, this is a pretty dangerous storm, and the potential is there for it to recycle and redevelop and could very easily produce another tornado. But I think we're going to take advantage of this here to take a quick little break, grab a quick glass of water, let you watch some TV without us interrupting you for a bit. But we're going to be watching things closely. We will break in and let you know if anything develops or if anything changes in our situation. Also, if you don't have it yet, get that KEYC First Alert weather app. Put it on your phone. It is a great way to get warnings, alerts, and information, especially because your NOAA weather radios are not going to be alerting tonight, tomorrow, or Wednesday due to some system outages for weather radio stations in the Twin Cities National Weather Service office. If you're Marshall, Windham, Jackson, West, your radios are controlled by Sioux Falls and you're going to be fine. But South Central, Central Minnesota, the Twin Cities, NOAA weather radios are not working. Again, that tornado warning now has been canceled, but there is definitely still some potential there for rotation, and it's even possible that this storm could recycle and strengthen quickly. So we are going to be watching. If anything happens, we will bust right back in here and let you know what's going on. In the meantime, check out our Facebook and our photo gallery. We've been getting some pretty cool pictures in here of this funnel cloud. We're going to send it back to programming now. Stay with us for updates. We're going to be watching things closely. We will have updates, and we will bust right back in here if we have to, if stuff develops. That's it for now. Back to the show. And zoom in, let you know exactly where we're talking about and get a few more towns on there. St. Clair, you are right in the middle of this now. And locations actually just southeast of the Terrace View Golf Course, Wildwood County Park here, Pemberton, a little further down the road. But it's this area, basically just a few miles, couple miles west of St. Clair. You see how that is kind of hooking around there? That is called a hook echo, and that is a good indicator that we have some pretty good rotation within this thunderstorm. So west of St. Clair now, no confirmation at this point. However, we are keeping an eye on the possibility that a tornado could touch down at just about any time with this particular storm. So again, a brand new tornado warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth County into Waseca County, west of St. Clair, and basically just east of the Terrace View Golf Course. That is the area we're talking about right now. And I want to bring up a couple of things. First of all, I want to pop up our rotation tracker, which basically looks for shear in a storm and shows you kind of what's going on. And you can see that we do have an enhanced bit of a return here, a little stronger rotation just west of St. Clair. And if we put this in motion, let me go back to about the last 15 minutes or so, and we will be able to, let's go back to the last 30 minutes. We're going to be able to kind of watch how this thing tracks, and you'll be able to see where we're going. Notice everything is pushing off to the southeast, and so the area we're most concerned with is St. Clair, but then areas just west and south of St. Clair, this is going to continue to slide off to the southeast over the next little while. But again, we have a brand new tornado warning here that is in effect. We do have some reports of rotation just outside and just to the west of St. Clair. So this could be another situation very similar to the one we just had out by Nicollet, where we see this spinning for a while, and then eventually this will possibly touch the ground. And that's why the warning is in effect now before we get to that point where it is actually a tornado. But St. Clair, get ready. And again, weather radios will not sound. Keep that KEYC First Alert app handy. The weather radios are down for the next couple of days. And so it's important that you have another source or another way to get warnings and information. But again, a tornado warning. We have a rotation here just west of St. Clair. Everything is moving off to the southeast at about 20-ish or so miles per hour. So let's talk a little bit about the warning, and here are some of the details. We actually have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Blue Earth, Le Sueur, and Waseca County, and this tornado warning until 8:30 for Blue Earth and Waseca County. Alton, McPherson, Pemberton, and St. Clair included. And I know some of these spots and locations that show up on here, most of us are like, what the heck are you talking about? But if you are in that area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So Alton, McPherson, Pemberton, and St. Clair in the path of this storm. And I want to just look at a couple of things here really quick. But again, if you are in the St. Clair, that is really kind of beginning to hook around there pretty nicely here, which is another sign that there is likely some good rotation and the potential for a tornado with this storm. And you can see what I'm talking about right here. St. Clair is right here, and this is the little signature that we're talking about. And basically what this is, it is the rotation of the storm wrapping the rain around, and you get this thing called a hook echo, and this is a very strong indicator of a potential tornado. In addition to that, we are seeing the signatures on our rotation tracker. I want to check one more thing here. This is called velocity, and yeah, this is one of the things we're talking about. This is one of the things we look at. St. Clair, get yourself to a safe place, get to the basement, get to shelter. I do not have a confirmed tornado, but I do have penny-sized hail being reported in the St. Clair area now. But when you get this, this is the live Doppler's ability to detect wind and wind direction and wind speed. And the green is air moving toward the radar, which is in the Twin Cities, up by the airport, or actually in Chanhassen, and the red is air moving away from the radar. So when you get the red and the green close together, it would suggest that you got something like this going on here, and that is exactly what's happening by St. Clair. A lot of times you get that rotation that's aloft, but eventually, as the storm intensifies and strengthens, this will touch the ground. So not only do we have hail, we have rotation, a potential tornado near St. Clair, tornado warning in effect until 8:30 for parts of Blue Earth, moving into Waseca County. Now, Pemberton, you are right here. St. Clair back here. This is going to continue to push off to the southeast, and Highway 13 here, right along there and south of there, that is our area of main concern. And of course, locations just east of the golf course. If you are east of Terrace View Golf Course a ways and south of St. Clair, that is the area of primary impact right now. And again, we do have reports of hail and multiple reports of rotation just outside and south of St. Clair. So if you are in St. Clair, This is going to be really close to you, but if you are just south, this is going to be right over the top of you. So if you are in this area, near and south of St. Clair, get yourself to the basement. The best place to go is under the stairs. If you don't have a basement, get to an interior room. Mobile homes a no-go. You can't be in those because those roll over and flip and do all kinds of stuff. So it's time to put that severe weather safety plan to work if you are in and around St. Clair. Again, a tornado warning now in effect. This is for parts of Blue Earth and Waseca County, and this does include the, let me go back here. There we go. This does include the city of St. Clair, and this remains in effect until 8:30 this evening. Let's get in a little closer here one more time. Further north, Janesville area, we do have a severe thunderstorm. The potential is there for some large hail in that general vicinity, but the tornado warning is the one we're talking about now, and that is the most significant issue that we have right now. I do want to pop up the hail tracker for a second, and oh yeah, look at that. Penny size to quarter size or larger hail likely in St. Clair, and there's a pretty strong updraft here with this. Good chance that there could be some larger hail in that particular area. So if you are in St. Clair, again, get yourself to a safe place. Oh, so we do have a picture. Okay, so we do have confirmed larger than quarter size hail with that particular storm. So if you are in the St. Clair area, not only are you getting whopped with hail, we do have a potential tornado and a pretty good amount of rotation with this storm as well. Oh yeah, look at that. This is not good. This is, I think, probably the most intense rotation I've seen on this rotation tracker so far this evening. So just south of St. Clair, let me see if I have an update here from Blue Earth County. Getting reports of larger than quarter size hail now, and still reports of some pretty good rotation. And again, this is right to the south of St. Clair near McPherson, and pretty good ways now. We're several miles, almost 10 miles south of the Terrace View Golf Course. But the St. Clair area, that is the area of primary concern right now. And as we take a look at our loop over the past 15 minutes or so, you can see the general direction going right kind of through and down here. So I'm going to move this back north and get our storm tracker up here so that we can kind of give you a guesstimate as to where and when this is going to be going here. But if this storm continues to move in this direction, it maintains its speed, we're looking at Pemberton by around 8:27 and Freedom at 8:40 p.m. And again, Freedom's one of those places where a lot of folks may not know where that is, but if you're living in that area or you are in that area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we have until about 8:30 if it keeps moving at the same speed and direction before this gets to the area. Oh, we did get a report now of golf ball size hail in St. Clair. So not only are we dealing with the potential for a tornado, we're also talking about some really, really large hail possible with this particular storm. Again, we have a tornado warning in effect for Blue Earth and Waseca County, and this is in effect until 8:30 this evening. And not only do we have rotation, we have large hail, possibility of a tornado that could be touching down at any time. We've had multiple reports of funnel clouds and rotation with this particular storm. So if you are in St. Clair, south of Janesville, eventually here we're going to be talking kind of along this Blue Earth, Waseca County line here that we're going to be watching. So again, that is the area. Let me get in just a little closer here, and you can see St. Clair right there, and Pemberton a little further down the road. And that little appendage that we have there, that's what we call a hook echo, and that is a really good sign that there is some stuff going on here. Highway 83, Minnesota 83 between St. Clair and Pemberton. If you are in this area right now, get yourself to a safe place. There is rotation there with this storm. We've had reports of golf ball hail in St. Clair as well. And this is basically moving right toward the Pemberton area. So if you are in Pemberton, get ready, because we're about maybe 10 minutes away from this storm being right up your alley. So Pemberton, things are coming, or they're working their way your direction. I'm still kind of watching the movement on this, and as of right now, it looks like there could skirt maybe just even north of Pemberton. But sometimes what will happen as these storms strengthen is that they'll pull and they'll they'll kind of pull right just a little bit. So we're going to continue to watch this here for those of you who are in this area. We are on the air, KEYC, with a tornado warning for parts of Blue Earth and Waseca County. Right now, the area of primary concern is just west of that Blue Earth Waseca County line in the St. Clair area, moving toward Pemberton, sort of hanging out right along Minnesota Highway 83. And if we put up our shear tracker, you can see that the area of most significant rotation is this right here. We are about 2, 3, 4, 5 miles west and 1, 2, maybe 3 miles north of Pemberton, maybe about 2 or 3 miles south of St. Clair, right along and just to the southwest of Minnesota Highway 83. So a pretty intense storm. And as I bring up our hail tracker, you can see that we still have some blue. Some of the heavier hail and bigger hail actually fell out over St. Clair, unfortunately. Reports of golf ball hail in the St. Clair area here just about 5 minutes ago or less. So there's definitely some really big hail with this particular storm. And we're also looking at some really good rotation as well. And again, this is our velocity, which shows the wind speed, and the green wind blowing toward the radar, the red wind blowing away from the radar. And when you get these really close, that is a signature that we have rotation right there in that particular area. So for those of you who are between St. Clair and Pemberton along Minnesota Highway 83, now's the time to get to a safe place. Everything is sliding off to the southeast. This particular storm is only moving at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. So that's some very slow moving storm. Still no confirmation of an actual tornado, but we have had reports that there is some definite rotation with this particular storm. So again, this is a dangerous storm that continues to move off to the southeast here at about 15-ish or so miles per hour. And again, we continue to see that fairly decent sign. This is one of the better ones we've seen here all day. Even with that tornado that touched down by Nicollet a while ago, about an hour and a half-ish ago, that didn't look really this good. So that just tells me that we may be dealing with a potential tornado here before too long that has yet to touch the ground. So if you're near St. Clair, be on the lookout. We do have a tornado watch that remains in effect until 9 o'clock. Waseca, Mankato, New Ulm, Belle Plaine, all included, although won't be long, and I think they will probably whittle away that back tier of counties, and even Mankato pretty much west of the biggest tornado risk right now. Eastern Blue Earth, western Waseca County, that is where the most significant weather is happening at this point. Let's back up and just recap here for everyone and anyone who may be listening. And for those of you in Mankato, yes, the sirens did sound, okay? But there is no real tornado threat or any significant danger in Mankato right now. The tornado warning is for areas south and east of Mankato, east of the Terrace View Golf Course, and in the St. Clair and Pemberton areas. So if you are in Mankato, there is no tornado warning, even though the sirens did sound. Again, Blue Earth and Nicollet County, and actually North Mankato, the sirens sound as well. But we are all connected. So if there's a tornado warning in one part of the county, the sirens sound in Mankato. That's just the way it is. But Mankato, You can come out of your safe place because there is no tornado warning for Mankato or North Mankato at this time. The tornado warning is right here, and it is for parts of Blue Earth and Waseca County, south and east of the Mankato area. Right now, the area of most significant concern, and let me get that text box off there, St. Clair area right now, Pemberton area also in the thick of things. And so it is basically this right here. If you are in St. Clair and Pemberton or hanging out along Minnesota Highway 83, get to your safe place, get to the basement, get to where you need to be, because there's the potential for a tornado to touch down at any time. And again, we have a pretty good shear indicator here on our live Doppler. And if I go to the velocity, you can see too, right here where the green and the red come together, you can see where that rotation is. Let me get the storm tracker. I know Daniel's got something here to talk to us about in just a second, but I do want to just go back to this shear signature right here and pull up our storm tracker. And if this thing keeps going like it is, Pemberton at around 832, Waldorf by 851, if this thing can hold together that long. So again, we're going to be watching this closely. I know, Daniel, you said you have a picture of some of the hail. We've had some reports of up to golf ball size hail over there in St. Clair.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of quarter size hail, golf ball size. I got a picture here on Max too. A lot of this coming in right now. You can see how large that hail is right now with this storm. Good news is right now just radar indicated rotation. I'm not getting any images of any funnel clouds, tornadoes right now, but again, just very large hail. With this storm, as you can see here on in this guy's hand right here, just extremely large hail. That continues to be the biggest threat. But you know, Sean, this has been a storm that developed around 5 o'clock. It's been an individual supercell lasting through now 8:30. And these are the ones to be concerned about. We don't have a line of storms with these. It's always that individual storm that's been tracking over the last 3.5 hours with concern. So we continue to watch this. But again, right now, just radar indicated. I'm not getting any images of any funnel clouds, tornadoes at this time.
No, and you're right. This is the sort of thing that is a really good environment for tornadoes, because when we have individual cells like this, I mean, this cell can suck all the energy out of the atmosphere all the way around. When we start to see storms becoming more of a line of storms, then there's a lot more energy that needs to be shared with these things. And so you're less likely to see tornadic and more likely to see straight line wind gusts and heavy rain and that sort of thing. But we're in a situation right now where we could still see a tornado pop out of this storm. I don't have any confirmed reports. I do have confirmed reports of rotation. And as you mentioned, that hail was huge. And, you know, I always hate seeing something like that this time of year. It's spring, June, where everyone just busy with planting season. Unfortunately, that hail is something that we're having to deal with this particular storm. The good news is a lot of that hail is now starting to fall out of the storm. Let me back up a little bit with that. You can see if we go back to, over Mankato, I know I did get some reports of nickel to quarter size hail over Mankato. You can see it's dark blue there. And then we really saw that to kind of pick up right through here. And that's about the time the storm moved through St. Clair. That's when we had some of those, oh yeah, we have some of these purple colors in there. When we get some of that purple, I mean, we're talking hail potential, you know, in that 1.5 to 2 inch range, which definitely is that probably golf ball to even slightly larger size that we saw there. But right now we are really kind of watching this rotation ramp up here, and it's kind of depleted a little bit in the last little while. Let's back up, and you can kind of see some of those reds that have picked up here around St. Clair, kind of got a little bright right just south of St. Clair, and now everything kind of falling apart. And that hook echo that we've been kind of watching has sort of fallen apart as well. But again, still the potential there for some rotation. And we actually just had an extension or reissuance of this tornado warning now, Pemberton to Waldorf and further south into Waseca County, New Richland is included. And of course, there's Heartland. That's a place that's way too familiar with this kind of a situation, but a brand new tornado warning now has been issued and is in effect for Blue Earth and Waseca County until 9 o'clock tonight. Freedom, Otsego, Pemberton, and Waldorf are included in this warning. New Richland is also just outside of it to the southeast. But the main area here is near Pemberton. That's where we had the main area of rotation. And what we're kind of watching up to this point is this area right here where we have that little bit of a hook that's just north of Pemberton. So if you are in Pemberton, get to a safe place. We've really kind of watched the shear decrease a little bit, but what may be happening here is that this storm may be recycling and could very quickly intensify and pop another tornado or pop a tornado anytime here. So again, the Pemberton area and northwest of Pemberton, this is where the rotation is right now, and I'm going to say that this is going to go right over the top of Pemberton. So if this does strengthen and decide to produce a tornado, it could possibly end up in the middle of Pemberton. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if you are in that area, get to a safe place now and just wait this out here, because we may see this storm begin to re-intensify here over the next little while, and that is something that we are going to be watching as we make our way through the next 10-15 minutes or so. So again, if you are in the Pemberton area, we are watching this very closely, but there definitely are signs of rotation in your general vicinity. So tornado warning now in effect from St. Clair, which, by the way, St. Clair, you are out of this at this point. Everything is now south and east of you, but we have a area of rotation near Pemberton that's going to be heading further southeast toward the Waldorf and areas in the Waldorf vicinity that could be impacted by this. Hang on, I'm just looking into a couple of things here. Let's go back and just recap for anybody who may be joining us. And by the way, Mankato area, if you are just joining us in Mankato, I know the sirens went off. Mankato is in the clear. There is nothing happening in Mankato right now. All of the action is to the south and east of Mankato, east of Minnesota Highway 22, actually. And it is happening basically along and north of Minnesota Highway 83 from near Pemberton all the way down to Waldorf. That's where the strongest storm is at this time, and that is where our tornado warning is in effect. And as we go back to look at this little area here, near Pemberton, you can see this little fleck of green, and this isn't as intense as it was just even a short while ago, but what may be happening here is that this storm could be recycling. We saw that happen a couple of times with the storm by Nicollet. So if you are near Pemberton, get to a safe place, get to your basement. I know a lot of you like to be out peekabooing around and checking these things out, but get to a safe place and get to the basement, because this has potential to be a very dangerous situation. Again, nothing reported on the ground yet, but we have had reports of rotation and of some pretty good hail along with this particular storm. Let's go to the hail tracker, and you can see that we do have whites on the hail tracker. Normally when it starts to get big, like over St. Clair, that almost golf ball sized hail that we saw, that was purple on the hail tracker. This is maybe a barely pea-sized hail from Elton all the way down to just east of Pemberton. But again, we do have that area of rotation that continues to be a bit concerning, that is in the Pemberton area and locations just to the east of Pemberton. So if you are in Pemberton, be on standby here, because things could shift fairly quickly as we start to see more of that rotation kind of continue to be an issue. Tornado warning is in effect for parts of Blue Earth and now mostly just for Waseca County here until 9 o'clock this evening as we track this line of thunderstorms that continues to move through. Some cloud-to-ground lightning associated with this storm and quite a bit of hail, although we're kind of in the recycling phase where the storm appears to weaken just a little bit for a while before it re-intensifies and potentially produces a tornado as it kind of re-evolves and re-strengthens. Right now, Pemberton, Waldorf area, that is the area of primary concern. The area that most likely would have the tornado is this area right back here. But if you are further east, you are going to get kicked by that blast of wind and the rain and even some lightning quite a bit earlier. So if we pull up our storm tracker here and just kind of go along the leading edge of this storm and kind of watch it go, if you are in Wilton, 834, and Otisco at 842, New Richland, 847, Berlin at 902. That is when we expect that leading edge of rain to be in your neck of the woods. Now, if we go with the rotation where I don't think there's a tornado on the ground yet, but if that area of rotation would be near Waldorf at 848, New Richland at 918, Heartland at 929, and that is a little later than that initial blast of rain. So you're going to get rain first before we get to that part of the storm with the rotation. But again, as of right now, I don't see anything in regard to rotation, and that could be a good thing, meaning that the storm is starting to weaken a bit, but it could also be a bad thing, indicating the possibility that this storm is re-intensifying and kind of re-evolving. So we're going to be watching this here for a little while. This warning remains in effect for another half hour. This little appendage back here could indicate perhaps a little rotation on the back side of this. So we are going to continue to watch this here for just a bit. We do have a couple of other little thunderstorms kind of popping up here. This one near Clark's Grove, south and west of Blooming Prairie. We have a line of thunderstorms that just moved through Lakeville, but notice now that the sun is going down, we're losing the energy of the sun. All of these storms are just kind of getting shriveled right up, and there isn't much left of them. But we still have a tornado warning that remains in effect for parts of Waseca County, actually Blue Earth and Waseca County, Pemberton area. That is one of my areas of biggest concern now. Waldorf, perhaps. We have a little stuff going on there as well. And we're going to continue to watch here for the next little while for a bit of rotation. But if I don't see anything terribly concerning for a while here, I may go back to programming. But I just want to watch this for a minute because I've seen quite a few instances where we've had a situation like this and then the storm recycled and redeveloped quickly, and that didn't end quite so well. So right now, Pemberton area down to Waldorf, that is the area we're kind of watching right now, right through here. That's a little mini appendage that could be indicative of some rotation here just along and north of Minnesota 83 near Pemberton. The Waldorf area, we did have some big hail with this storm. St. Clair, unfortunately, looks like they got clobbered with golf ball size hail just about 20 minutes to a half hour ago. So pretty intense storm that is moving across the region. I'm going to go back to the shear tracker, and I really don't see anything here as far as rotation goes. I've been kind of watching the velocity too to see if I see any good little areas of rotation, and maybe a little bit back here, but it doesn't look too extreme. Daniel, I don't know if you have any thoughts on what might be happening here, but it looks like for the most part the storm is weakening a bit. This tornado warning does remain in effect here until 9 o'clock tonight. Daniel, do you have any thoughts?
I'm getting a few more reports of funnel clouds being reported about 5-10 minutes ago between St. Clair and Pemberton. Here on Max 2, you can see this was just sent to me from just west of St. Clair. You can see this funnel cloud right now on your screens. So we are getting more reports now, some funnel clouds with this storm right now with the tornado warning. Nothing confirmed on the ground, kind of like what we've seen earlier. We had a bunch of funnel clouds in and out. However, again, this storm, as Sean was mentioning, recycling. We've had a history since 5 o'clock over the last 3.5 hours. Reports of funnel clouds earlier, tornado in just north of Nicollet earlier as well. Then we had a little bit of a break, and then that tornado warning reissued, and now we are getting some funnel cloud reports along with that quarter-size hail, that golf ball-size hail as well with this storm right now. Again, no tornado confirmed on the ground, but this storm has had a history of producing very strong winds as well with the hail. We've had a lot of lightning, downpours, very slow moving storm over the last 3.5, 4 hours. So definitely get to your safe place if you are into the southern half of Waseca. Again, some reports now coming in of some funnel clouds, Sean.
All righty. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, we're going to continue to watch this here for a little while yet. They did whittle away more of that tornado watch, Nicollet, Brown County, Watonwan County, Hutchinson, west of the Minnesota River, now out of the watch. The watch has been canceled, or I guess it's not 9 o'clock yet. This whole works will expire at 9 o'clock tonight, although they may extend it for a couple spots, but that tornado watch remains in effect here until 9 o'clock. And I know that that warning remains in effect for those of you in Mankato. It's one of those things. We just have to deal with it. The sirens sound in Mankato if there's a tornado warning anywhere in Blue Earth County, even if the Mankato area isn't impacted. Mankato, nothing going on right now. We are in the clear in Mankato, North Mankato, nothing happening here. The area still a bit of concern here for areas near Pemberton, Waldorf, Minnesota Highway 83, and a little northeast of there. South of Waseca, we're getting a little rain in Waseca right now, and this is the area with the strongest storm. But again, both the rotation and hail tracker are really kind of, it's all gone. There isn't much left to talk about here as far. This is our rotation tracker. We don't have much. Now, if we back up a little bit, let me put this loop on over the last hour, and we actually had some pretty good areas of rotation in the St. Clair and Pemberton area, but this storm really now starting to weaken, and a good chunk of that is due to the fact that we are losing a lot of the energy from the sun. As the sun sets, we see this energy kind of dissipate, but still a couple of thunderstorms moving through. Looks like they did cancel that tornado warning now because I'm not seeing anything up there, but it is raining, some thunderstorms near Waseca. We have another storm that is moving east, south of Dodge Center and over toward Austin. Another one by Lake Mills, Iowa. But really, most of the threat is winding down here this evening, which is good news. I'm glad to say it. Keep your KEYC First Alert app handy here for at least the next hour or two. We do have another round of thunderstorms that's going to develop and move across parts of northern Iowa and locations along and south of Interstate 90 late tonight into tomorrow morning. And that could produce some locally heavy rain in places that have already had a lot of rain over the last 3 days. So keep that in mind as well. Meteorologist Daniel Sawicki will have more for you tonight on KEYC News Now at 10 o'clock. Our app, our social media outlets, our 24/7 weather channel. We have a lot of places you can go for weather information. Again, keep in mind the NOAA weather radios in the Minneapolis National Weather Service area will not activate because the system is down today, tomorrow, and Wednesday as well. So be sure, it's extra important to be sure you have that means of getting warnings and information. All right, everything seems to have come to an end. We still have some thunder and lightning here with that storm south of Waseca in the Waldorf, Pemberton area, headed toward New Richland, but no more tornado warning. That means I can stop bothering you and put your show back on, and they can do that from the control room back there. So we'll do that now. We'll see you tonight at 10, or if anything develops, we'll be here to let you know about it. That's it for now.